welcome to the Listen to Your Heart podcast. My name is Laura Ratliff, former actress turned global entrepreneur, teaching people around the world to use your thoughts, emotion, and an action plan so that you too can reach your wonderful dream life you know you deserve. Each week, we bring you an inspirational story that will help you connect, inspire, and ignite a fire within you so that you can reach your full potential. Together, we can raise the vibration around the world. On this week's episode, we interview Linda Duong. From her earlier childhood growing up in the Vietnam War to now teaching the $1 million mindset to entrepreneurs around the world. Through her story, we will discover mindset tips and tricks that will help us discover our true core purpose and live that dream life you know you deserve. Enjoy the show. So, Linda, how did you become the speaker, the entrepreneur, the philanthropist that you are today? Like, you started at a very humble place, and just walk us through the early stages of what it was like being a Linda Duong in Vietnam.
I was born at the end of the Vietnam War. It was still happening. It was at the end of the war. So I try to paint this picture, and I will need you to pretty much put your imagination cap on. I pretty much was born and live in a black and white world, black and white. I did not even have a world map or a globe. So I see nothing. A globe model, that's what I mean, right? The world map globe model. So I literally was just a blank mind. So that was how basic it was. So when you read the book, it shares a lot more in details, right? I did not know anything about the outside world. And to make it worse, I had severe motion sickness, which means I literally was grounded at home. I could not even get on the bus, So I didn't go anywhere.
Wow.
Really, really basic. So then suddenly I was teleported here at the age of 15. When I say here, Sydney, Australia. At the age of 15, it's just a complete different world.
What was the thoughts that you had as a child in Vietnam with all the motion sickness and everything that you had, and then the thought about going to Australia? What was the thoughts that you had in your head at that time? Were you scared, or were you always thinking there must be something more? Or walk us through the thoughts that you had in your mind at that point in your life.
Back then, at the age of 15, you're going through a turmoil stage of your life. At the age of 15, there's a lot of wondering, a lot of insecurities and uncertainty, and a lot of wonderment for me, though, But also, coming from such a basic place, there's also always two sides to the coin, the good and the bad, the advantage and the not advantage, the unlucky and the lucky. Mm-hmm. The unlucky thing is I've seen nothing. But the lucky thing is also I had a very simple mind. So it wasn't like children these days at the age of 15, oh my goodness, the amount of information that they already have, it's completely different.
Yeah.
So I was still quite so-called innocent, very simple, very innocent. So instead of a lot of just uncertainty, nervousness or fear, it was a lot of also wonderment, curiosity. Okay. And I think that was what built me to be who I am today.
Fantastic.
So for parents who have children, even yourself now, try to build back curiosity and wonderment rather than let the overwhelmingness and fear get to you. Curiosity and wonderment is just the best nourishment for your soul.
Fantastic. That is amazing. Yeah. I just love that, because as a child myself, I was always thinking there must be something more. There must be something more. So I was always following my nose with these kinds of thoughts. And I think for the listeners listening, a lot of people who are professionals or entrepreneurs, business owners, they also have that curiosity. And I think that might just be the secret sauce to finding yourself in a successful situation later on down the track.
Cool. That was exactly what helped me embrace the new life. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to, if you could imagine that. Okay. So it was the curiosity, what is it like over here that is different than Vietnam? What's the language? How do people live their life? It's all of these curiosity that helped me build the thirst for learning. And because you have a thirst for learning, you're more embracing to your new environment, to your new situation, whatever challenges come, instead of just feeling overwhelmed and fearful, which puts you into a corner. But the wonderment and curiosity, it just makes you more curious to learn and more thirsty for more learning. And so then therefore, when challenges come, you're able to say, embrace it and face it. I mean, it's hard. It wasn't easy. It was no. When you read my book, you see and hear all the struggles I've gone through, and so yeah, that was what it was. It was curiosity and wonderment.
That's fantastic. So you went on, you learned the language when you went to Australia, you built a family, you have 2 children, correct me if I'm wrong, 14
Yes,
and 11. Congratulations. It's an achievement.
beautiful. It is. It is, and it's my children that inspire me to keep continuously achieving. Yeah,
that's fantastic. And then you went on to being a Toastmasters. Just quickly walk us through the journey in Toastmasters and what it did for your life.
So when I talk to people, they get more and more curious about my story. And so it grew just from that, becoming a speaker. But some 25, 30 years ago, each time I meet a professional, they would say, you should go and join Toastmasters. You should go and join Toastmasters. Right. So finally, November 2015, I joined. And as a guest, when they say, oh, can you share with us about your visit? And when I stood up to speak for the 1 minute, they were all surprised that was the first time I actually so-called formally stand up to speak. They were all surprised. Wow. So the journey was very quick. The quick meaning my progression in there. After my 6th speech, I was invited into competition.
Wow.
I know. Thinking back is amazing. So on my 7th speech, I was already competing and came 2nd at my club. One thing that I share with the journey is I was fortunate to meet the international Toastmaster president when he came to Sydney.
Wow, that's amazing. Great connection. Yeah.
Yeah, so then we were able to, he was so kind. He was so kind to, he asked who's having a speech coming up. And I put my hand up because I was going to be speaking at school. Okay. To high school children to encourage them to follow their own dream. Wow. And he was very kind to give tips and ask clubs to help give me feedback because I wanted feedback before I go. And that was just amazing.
So Linda, what I'm hearing is you as a child, you're very curious and that kind of leads you forward. Then the universe tells you Toastmasters, and it keeps on giving you that little gift. And instead of closing the door, you open the door, walk right through, and that opens so many opportunities for you in your speaking career. And now you're speaking to 122 countries, to a virtual classroom for entrepreneurs, and you're all about using the EQ to operate like a millionaire. So walk us through that and what you're providing for the world. I think this is amazing, the content that you're giving to these young entrepreneurs. It's wonderful.
Sure. So as you know, these days we have so much information out there. You know, nobody is lack of information. But what made me to who I am today is truly working from the inside out, knowing my core value, knowing truly who I am and what I hold value. So, for example, I am very strong about family values. If I go and work on a job that I did not like, I would not just sit there and grind my teeth and whinge about it. I would work it through, give it my best, find all solutions possible. The only one job that I was not happy with in my entire life only lasted 6 months. But I had to give it 6 months to work through it, to know that I give it a good go, to know that I truly gave it a good go before I resign. Because there's no point in sitting there and say, I don't like this, I don't like that, and it's not going to go anywhere. I go and teach at school using hand embroidery to teach self-leadership.
Wow.
Learning self-respect, self-love, giving yourself the permission that you need to do what you believe is right to do. even when the world didn't think so. When I say that, I don't mean as in go against everybody and be crazy and breaking rules as such. What I really meant is that if you know that you're going to do something that is good for yourself and good for others, you know that it brings benefit to everybody. That's when you know that you can give yourself the permission to go and do it. If you know your value, you naturally develop a self-belief. And when you have that belief, you develop the confidence. And when you have the confidence, you naturally are able to say, I am going to do it. It's okay. I know it's going to be good for me and for other people. Like Edison could see so far ahead about the light bulb, right? So if you have that kind of vision, if you have something that you truly drawn to and passionate about and love about it, and know that you know deep inside yourself that it has a value to add to people's life, hold on to it. Know your core value, love yourself, to respect yourself, to give yourself the permission, right? Then following on, once you give yourself the permission, take action. We could sit all day long and say, is it good? Is it not good? You don't know until you take action. Just take the actions that you need. Be courageous to just take the action. And one action will lead to the next. I share that in the book as well. So, and what made me who I am today is something that I could say very different than a lot of my friends. Let's say, I'm not comparing, but I'm just giving a concrete example. It's fast decision making. When I first met my husband, again, it's not comparing, not judgmental, just to give a scale of comparison as such. It was almost frightening how fast I make decisions. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Give you one quick example, and this is by no means about boasting, but like I said, for listeners who don't see me having these gestures, having my facial expressions, and it's like, how fast is fast? You know, we have no scale, right? So this is by no means of boasting, but just to give a concrete comparison. Like, there are people take a whole year to buy a house. I took 1 week. Wow. That's how fast it is and how scary it is, right? Now, you might think I have loads of money sitting in the bank to buy that. No, it's not true. I still have to go through the humble process that we all need to go through. We still have to apply for the approval mortgage, from approval from the bank. We still have to look for the mortgage broker, all of those. But what I'm trying to say is that people naturally will go look, think, decide, right? It will take months, right? Because the house is a big thing, right? I was like this. I look, I know what I want. I decided, that's it, within 1 week. That was how scary it is for some of my friends, family who hear it.
Right.
So again, please understand, this is not by no means of judgment or comparison or boasting, but just giving you a scale of how I operate. And that's what makes me who I am today. I believe that's the thing. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So guys, that is Linda talking about the $1 million mindset. But in my true opinion, Linda is a dream achiever. She has followed her dreams. She has created a belief system around what she wanted to achieve. She didn't let people tell her what she should or should not be doing. She simply kept on that with that focus and kept on with her belief system, which has created who she is today. Let's say it's at the end of your life. Hopefully it's a very long time away. But let's say it is that time that you depart this world and continue into the other world, wherever it is, right?
It'll come for us.
It will, yeah. And then you look back on your life from the end to the beginning. What is it that your message that you want to tell the world? What's that big goal that you want to achieve in this world, looking back on your life?
I wrote this book because I was telling myself, if today was my last day, this was what had to happen.
Wow.
So this is my legacy. So connection, the currency to happiness.
Beautiful.
Access your happiness right here, right now.
Perfect. Wow.
So my message is, with or without $1 million, you can access the happiness.
Fantastic.
The goal is, I would love to be able to help at least 1 million people to be happier.
Wow.
And the message for the world is really, really, we don't know when our time comes.
Mm-hmm.
And just seek within to access your happiness.
Wow.
So happiness isn't the big house, the fancy car, all of those will lift us, will allow us to live a more comfortable life. But true happiness is within.
Perfect.
And that's what I share in the book. And that was the reason why I wrote it, was because I thought if this was the last month of my life, what must happen? And that's how the book was born.
Wow.
That happened because I lost an industry colleague, a friend.
No.
So I was on a business forum. We have not met. We have not even had personal conversation. It was in a forum. She was just saying, guess what, guys? I finally found my dream. My boss now have allowed me to have 2 days off so that I can work on my business. She was so happy, right? And the next day she's gone.
Wow.
And that's why I thought I've got to write this. I've got to share how I found it, right? How I found my true happiness without the $1 million before we lose more lives in that way. Do you know what I mean? Like it's such a shame that she's reaching her dream. It's just right there in front of her, but she was not able to enjoy it before she goes. And that was the inspiration to share with the world. I was writing it already. I was writing it for my children because I have very elderly parents. My father is now 98.
Oh, wow.
So I will live a long life, hopefully to 100. But I just so wish that I was able to write their story when they were younger, when they still remember a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So then I tell myself, I want to write it now while I still remember, because I've got so much to share with my children.
Yeah.
But as I was writing it towards the end of the draft, that was what happened. And that's what got me to be courageous to share with the world, because it's a very personal journey. When you read it, it begins with very personal stories about me. And as we go, we connect with each other. And then as we go, we realize we need to connect with the whole universe. The message of the book is 3 hearts. Heart number 1 is love and connection with yourself. Heart number 2 is love and connection with others. Number 3 is with the universe. So my happiness code is 3 hearts. So every time you see me sign with 3 hearts, it's the happiness code. The book supports 4 charities worldwide.
Wow.
So when we get the book, you don't just get happiness for yourself, but it's really happiness for everybody.
Wow.
Because once you become happier, you'll be a happier person for your family, your wife, your daughter, your children, your partner, your business employees, everybody. And I've got directors buy it for their employees. I've got business people buy it to give their clients.
Linda, you are absolutely amazing. So everyone who's listening, let's get behind Linda and help her reach her goals, her lifelong dreams of sharing the book. It's all about happiness. And in my opinion, it's the secrets of life and how to live and how to really be a dream achiever. Have those dreams and go for them. And don't let your limiting beliefs stop you from following your whole purpose of being on this universe. Wow, what an amazing show today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe and share with all your friends. I'll see you on the next show where LV Connects interviews people on how they connect, inspire, and unite. I'll see you soon.